This case reveals how affection was weaponized through calculated toxic correspondence. Historical records document unusual poisoning cases involving mailed letters and personal items. One case involved a rejected admirer targeting a recipient through perfumed correspondence. The letters contained microdoses of toxic substances, undetectable without laboratory testing. Recipients initially reported mild symptoms that escalated with repeated exposure over time. Medical professionals struggled to identify the cause due to low concentration levels. Forensic toxicology later confirmed the presence of harmful compounds on paper surfaces. The perfume masked the chemical odor, delaying suspicion and prolonging exposure duration. This tactic reflects deliberate planning and understanding of sensory perception limits. Investigators classified the act as intentional poisoning through indirect delivery mechanisms. Such cases remain rare, but demonstrate evolving methods in interpersonal crimes. Demographic analysis shows perpetrators often exhibit patterns of fixation and rejection sensitivity. What appears romantic here is actually a calculated chemical assault. Behavioral experts link these actions to obsessive relational intrusion disorders. Economic barriers to direct confrontation sometimes push individuals toward indirect, harmful methods. Access to chemical compounds has increased due to globalized supply chains and online markets. This accessibility raises concerns about regulation and monitoring of hazardous materials. In this case, substances were likely sourced from industrial or laboratory suppliers. Authorities traced purchase patterns to identify the suspect through transaction histories. Digital payment systems played a key role in reconstructing the suspect's behavior timeline. The case highlights how financial data intersects with criminal investigations today. Laboratory analysis revealed compounds affecting the nervous system at low doses. Repeated exposure amplified toxicity, leading to cumulative physiological damage over time. Victims experienced fatigue, dizziness, and neurological symptoms before diagnosis occurred. Public health officials later issued warnings about handling unsolicited, mailed items carefully. This case forced agencies to rethink how everyday objects can carry hidden risks. Postal services reviewed screening protocols to detect contaminated packages more effectively. However, microdose contamination remains difficult to identify without targeted testing procedures. Education campaigns emphasized awareness rather than fear in public communication strategies. Psychological analysis of the perpetrator revealed escalating behavior following rejection events. Such escalation patterns are commonly observed in stalking and harassment cases globally. Law enforcement agencies now integrate behavioral profiling in threat assessment protocols. This integration aims to identify high-risk individuals before harm occurs. Data-driven policing models increasingly rely on cross-referencing behavioral and financial indicators. The case also influenced legal definitions of indirect poisoning and intent determination. Courts considered whether repeated exposure constituted premeditated harm under criminal statute. Ultimately, the suspect faced charges reflecting both intent and method sophistication. Understanding intent here is critical for both law and prevention. This case underscores the intersection between personal relationships and public safety concerns. Sociologists note increasing complexity in crimes involving emotional motivations and technology access. Education systems now incorporate digital and personal safety awareness into curricula. Students are taught to recognize warning signs in communication, patterns, and relationships. These lessons aim to reduce vulnerability to manipulation and hidden threats. Governments also invest in forensic infrastructure to improve detection capabilities nationwide. Funding increases support laboratory capacity and training for advanced toxicology analysis. International cooperation enhances tracking of hazardous substances across borders and markets. This coordination helps prevent misuse of chemicals in criminal or malicious context. Economic implications include increased costs for regulation, monitoring, and public health response. Healthcare systems also bear costs associated with delayed diagnosis and long-term treatment. Insurance frameworks may adjust policies to account for emerging unconventional risks. Cases like this reshape how institutions calculate risk and responsibility. The broader implication is a shift toward recognizing subtle forms of harm delivery. Public awareness remains a key factor in preventing similar incidents in the future. Digital communication trends may further complicate detection of indirect harmful intent. Researchers continue studying how microdose exposure affects long-term human health outcomes. Understanding these effects is essential for improving both medical and forensic responses. The case serves as a reminder that trust can be exploited through everyday interactions. If you found this analysis valuable, please like, comment, and subscribe. Ongoing vigilance and education remain essential in adapting to evolving forms of personal risk.